Good evening, welcome to another episode of Friday Night Youth Live. So good to have you joining us. Whether you would normally be with us on a Friday when it's not coronavirus and lockdown at Gorgie when we're all together, or whether you're actually just checking us out because we've gone online during the season, you're so welcome. We've got a few people on the chat, a few leaders to say hi. I'd love to know where you're watching from. I'd love you to give me a wave and let me know where you're tuning in from for this episode. Maybe you're watching this back. If you're watching this back later in the week, then thank you for coming and checking us out. I'd love it if you could go, if you're enjoying our Friday Night Youth Live episodes, why not subscribe on the YouTube channel when you're done, or even just now, click the subscribe button. It would be great to have you do that. It was a really exciting episode. We've got a lot of bits and pieces coming up. But let me just tell you a few ways that you can stay connected to us. In between Fridays, this is not the only thing that we do as a youth ministry. We're based in Edinburgh, but other ways you can connect with us, we want you to stay connected during this time. So behind on the screen is going to come our weekly schedule. It should be up just now. These are the things we've got going on. Can I particularly just draw your attention to one or two things? First of all, small groups. If you're normally connected to Destiny Youth and you've not been involved in any of our small groups yet, then what are you waiting for? Come and get involved. Actually, in this time, it can be quite easy to just be on Netflix and on Xbox and kind of connecting digitally. But what's great about small groups is they allow us to actually talk face to face. They allow us to actually hear each other's voices. They allow us to see each other, and it's a really great way, as best as we possibly can in the current situation, to feel strongly connected to each other. It's an opportunity for you to share how you're doing. It's an opportunity for someone to pray for you. So if you're normally part of Destiny Youth or you're based in the Edinburgh area, then please do get connected into a small group. If you're based in Edinburgh, the Edinburgh area, and you wouldn't normally connect with Destiny Youth, but you'd like to get involved in that, then why not just send us an email or send us an instant message to our Instagram profile. If you haven't joined our Instagram profile and you've got an Instagram, we'd love it if you follow us at Destiny Youth Edinburgh, all one word. Or if you want to get in touch for any reason during the week, you want to send me a funny video or a meme or something that made you laugh, why not send it into youth@destinyedinburgh.com. Love to hear from you. I'd love to see you connecting in lots of different ways during the week. Also on our Instagram, big shout out to Tatiana, who was doing the live devotional today. She knocked it out of the park. Thank you, Tatiana, for doing that. It was great. Every day on our Instagram profile, we have a live devotional, Monday to Friday. Just someone from our youth or someone from our team just coming on and just sharing briefly something that's encouraged them from God's Word and praying for us. It's a great way to be together and to be encouraged every day from Monday to Friday. So get involved in that if you're able to. We'd love to have you part of that. Wow, we've got someone watching from Germany. That's awesome. It's so cool to have you taking part and connecting in with Destiny Youth Online tonight. That's amazing. I think you must be the furthest away person that's connected with our live stream so far, unless someone else is out there watching that wants to tell me that they're connecting from further away. What else do I need to tell you about? A big thing I need to tell you about, and you've got to get your diary out. I don't know if you use a diary, but you've got to get your diary out right now. Write it down on a bit of paper, put it in your phone. Don't miss next week. Do not miss next Friday, 24th of April, 7:30 p.m. on our live stream. We're going to have a live Q&A, completely live, with Pastor Pete, who's the senior pastor of Destiny Church Edinburgh. He's an amazing leader, an awesome guy, and he has an incredible amount of wisdom. It could potentially change your life, and that's not an exaggeration. What he has to say next week could potentially change your life, so do not miss it. Make sure you're here 7:30 p.m. next week. It is going to be completely live, so we want you to put your questions in. I want questions, great questions about what you want to know about Pete, questions about his journey in life, questions about his relationship with God, how he became a Christian, how he got to know Jesus. And if you want to ask him the hardest question you can think of, maybe you're watching this and you're not a follower of Jesus and you've loads of questions. You're like, what about this? And I don't understand this, and this seems not right, and I disagree with this. Send them in. We want to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you, whatever your question is. Even if you think it's ridiculous, even if you think it's really, 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 really hard, send it in to us. You can send them in on Instagram. DM them directly to us on our Instagram profile, or you can just email them to us at youth@destinyedinburgh.com. It'd be great to have lots of questions in advance so that I'm ready to go next Friday. You'll also be able to put them in on the chat and YouTube during the actual live stream itself, and we'll do our best to see as you put those questions into Pastor Pete. So 7:30 next week, be there, put it in your diary. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. I obviously it's quite a challenging time, and I just want to add my encouragement to you to make sure you're staying at home, keeping looking into the government guidance, following that wherever you are. You're keep celebrating and praying for your health service. They're doing an awesome job here in the UK, and just encouragement to keep doing that. But at the same time, big part of what we do on Friday is hopefully to make you smile, hopefully to make you laugh, hopefully to make you cheer you up in your week. Is a big part of why we do this. So I want to show you a couple of things that I found quite funny this week. I don't know if you're using TikTok. Maybe give me a little wave if you use TikTok in the chat, or something like that, so I can see who uses it. But I'm going to show you a couple of TikTok videos that I found hilarious this week. And again, if you want to be involved on a Friday night, please do send me your favorite TikTok videos, or if you've made a TikTok and you're pretty proud of it and you'd like it to be shown on the Friday night youth live stream, also send that our way through the channels that I mentioned before. But let me show you 3 of my favorite TikToks this week. And I also wanted to show you a funny picture that I think is hilarious. So hopefully those few things made you smile. Which one was your favourite one? I wonder which one of those 3 videos was your favourite. I unanimously, easy question for me. Number 1 is easily my favourite TikTok of the week. I just wish that I had a beard as long as that I could pull up and put my sunglasses on. I think that's hilarious. And later on, you'll see another guy with another phenomenal beard as we go to our main event of the evening, an interview with Des Johnson from Alpha. But just before we do that, I've not forgotten that we had a coronavirus challenge this week that I put out to you. And the challenge was to scare a family member and to send us evidence of you doing that. I made a few good entries, so it's just I will show you a little clip, and then I'll tell you who won this week's coronavirus challenge. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed my part in that. I must have hidden that cupboard for genuinely 5 to 10 minutes at least. Peeked my head out about 10 times to see when Beck was coming. So it was really, it's really fun. Do keep sending us in evidence of you taking on the challenges. Each week there will be a prize. Just because you were the only person to send me a clip of you actually scaring a human being. Holly, this week you are the Coronavirus Challenge champion, so keep an eye out. This week we'll send you a little prize, probably by email or in the post. So you can take a little picture and tag us in it and put it on your Instagram when you get it. That would be awesome. We'd love to see some evidence of that landing safely. But fair play to you guys that put it in. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed the dogs, and how cute is Eve's dog, to be fair. Absolutely adorable. I just have to pick this up because you might be watching this and you haven't really noticed, but in the chat, Gabrielle has dropped the bombshell that Holly this week, this is epic, has made her own Amazon delivery truck out of boxes, attached it to a skateboard and rode around on it. So that is probably the best thing I've heard this week. So Holly, that is awesome. Love that creativity. More where that's came from, and that's really, really cool. So thanks for sending in as well, all you guys that love TikTok. Graham thinks TikTok is a clock, so Graham, it's okay. We'll pray for you. Yeah, maybe give us put your hand up on the chat actually, or let us know in the chat how many people think we should get a TikTok account for Destiny Youth. Who thinks we should get a TikTok account for Destiny Youth? Can't even speak. TikTok account. It's a hard thing to say this time of night. Give me a wee wave. Right, this is the main event. We've been building up to it, but I'm really excited to introduce a really special interview. So instead of me preaching to camera tonight, we have an interview with a guy called Des Johnson. Des, as some of you will know, he came to our weekend away last year, and he's an awesome guy. One of the amazing things about Des is he's probably one of the most generous people out there in terms of his time. He would do anything for you, and he's a very busy guy as well. Des has an awesome story, but I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm just going to let you enjoy this. So sit back, relax, get some popcorn, get some snacks, and have a look at this, and I hope that you enjoy it. Des Johnson from Alpha's with me.
Finger guns,
very, very exciting. So Des, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're up to at the minute, how's things in lockdown.
Yeah, it's pretty good. As you can see from my amazing background, I am at home with the kids. We've got a Noah's Ark somewhere over there, got some games and stuff. That's a broom and a buggy. So yeah, my wife works for the NHS. She's a pharmacist, so I'm at home with the kids a lot of the time. But yeah, lockdown life's alright actually, isn't it? You know, it's not terrible. I hate it. Like, I hate being trapped. Like, you know, I just want to go out and drive. I want to go for a walk because I can do that whenever I want, and maybe twice in a day, not just once in a day. But yeah, it's just finding a new normal, isn't it? Do you know? And yeah, I guess that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, as Mark said, I work for Alpha. I'm the director. I used to be a youth worker, and then I became it's all about the youth, and then I became the director mainly because I couldn't find anybody else, and I was bigger than the other guy, so I got the job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm a Rev as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Hashtag Rev Des, know what I'm saying? Oh, what? Do you know what I've been snacking on a lot lately? Bird's Eye chili peanuts. They are like super spicy, so like they're just quite good, but they're like Moorish, but you can't eat too many because your face is melting. Disney Plus is massive. I've been watching the Marvel movies in chronological order, which has been pretty good, and we've also just been watching The Good Place on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
So good. We've just been
I've
rewatching
enjoyed
that.
It's good. It's good.
And the mighty Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, love a bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Like Sugar by Shaka Khan, which is an old 80s track. I have got the new, well actually it's a whole album, but the Frozen 2 soundtrack.
Alright.
My daughter has been listening to it on repeat because she just loves it. And I've got Stevie Wonder's Superstition as well as a track that I've just listened to.
A banging tune, love that.
Oh, yeah, so It's been tough, right? Like it's just a totally new environment, and we're all having to think differently. Like we're really lucky we've got a garden, so that's been good for us. Like we've been like going out in the garden, like putting out a picnic blanket, like having lunch out there and stuff. So it's been quite good. The other thing I've been doing, and I know it sounds super spiritual, is that I've just been trying to spend some time getting on my face with God. Like, because actually it's the one thing that really helps me process like all the stuff that's going on. Like if I can just get like half an hour sitting in a chair, even just quietly, like I'm a total extrovert, like so I need people in my life to energize me. But actually I do need those times where I just sit and just wait and hear what God's saying. And actually that's really, really important to me right now.
Changing gear and direction a little bit. Tell us a wee bit about what you were like as a teenager.
Yeah, I was a crazy teenager, as all teenagers are, I guess. But I loved Nirvana, but I also loved hardcore dance music, and I was a DJ, and we used to just party all the time. Like that was my whole scene was just I lived for the weekend. My weekend probably started on Thursday and finished sometime about Tuesday, and yeah, it was just chaos. Like I wasn't in church, I wasn't doing anything. I was dabbling with drugs, to the point where I became a cocaine addict. Yeah, my life was just a bit crazy back then, you know.
How does cocaine addicted, partying hard teenager end up becoming the director of Alpha? How'd your life change? What happened?
Yeah, it's a pretty wild story, man. Like, so I grew up in the northeast of Scotland, in a wee place near Elgin, and I moved to Glasgow when I was like 20 or so. And when I was in Glasgow, I'd been here for a number of years. I was working as a bouncer. I couldn't really I couldn't DJ anymore because I was getting wrecked all the time. And then I worked in a shop during the day, and one night I took a massive overdose. I'd taken about 6 or 7 grams of cocaine all at once, and it was just because I was greedy. I wasn't trying to end my life or anything, but I had this experience where I thought my life was over, and I made a crisis prayer. Like I cried out to something, anything, whoever was out there, and then woke up the next day and never touched cocaine again, which was wild. And I just put that down to the fact that I'm indestructible and I'm super strong. But then over the next 3 years I kept meeting Christians, which when you're a Glasgow bouncer is kind of weird. You know, because Christians are weird, right? They wear a lot of beige, like they've got Crocs, like you all know how Mark dresses, that's how he looks. But actually it was just really strange, and they said lots of strange things. But I was working in a shop, as I said, and we got a new employee, and she couldn't work on Sundays because she was a Christian. And I was like, why do you go to a building and sing at a wall? Why do you do karaoke? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. There's no power in it. It's nonsense. Anyway, she was quite pretty, so I asked her out a couple of times, and she kept saying no. And she said, look, because you're not a Christian, I'm not interested. And I was like, you're crazy. So she gave me a Bible, actually, so I started reading it. And I read all the way through, and I came to Ecclesiastes, season for everything under heaven. There's a time to be born, a time to die, a time to live, a time to sow seeds, a time to reap seeds, a time for war, a time for peace, a time for everything, really. And my life just had this miraculous moment where I just could see everything that had happened. Like, I'd been stabbed, I'd been in car accidents, I'd been in thousands of street fights, I had this massive overdose, and my life had led up to this point, and I just really felt like there must be more to life than this. So I spoke to Fiona, I asked her to take me to church, went along to church, went on an Alpha course, and was miraculously saved, like encountered Jesus in a really powerful way. And then from that point on, my life just totally turned around. I gave up my job, gave up working on the door, and went and volunteered for the church for a year, and started doing youth work. That's where I first started doing youth work, working with young people in one of the roughest areas of Glasgow, which was brilliant fun. I thought I was going to get stabbed every day. It was just like being a bouncer, except with young folk, you know, that was good. I ended up, after a few years, at the Bible College, at the Scottish Baptist College, studying theology, because I thought I was going to become an RE teacher, because, let's face it, I'd be a great RE teacher. Like, you know, I look like an RE teacher, I sound like an RE teacher, made. So I was like, yeah, that'd be really, really good. But God had a different plan for my life, and I ended up working for a church called South Beach Baptist, which sounds terribly Florida, but actually means Saltcoats on the west coast, and is just sheet wind and rain. So I was there for 2 years, and then when I finished that up, I was working for Alpha 2 days a week as the youth coordinator. I was working 3 days a week as an incarnational mission team leader. So I live in an area of mass deprivation just outside of Glasgow, and we bought a house in the middle of a scheme where there's just like loads of issues all around. It's great fun, love it. You never quite know what's going to happen. I was living here for 2 days before there was a riot van going down the street and raiding the house round the corner. Amazing. And I was working for Alpha. So I was doing those two things, and then my boss left, and then they offered me his job. Yeah, like, so when I first became a Christian, like, I was a head steward of a nightclub, and I thought a really good way of getting guys to get on board with this Jesus thing was saying I would give them their wages after church. Turns out that's not a good way of getting people to church. No, come to church. If you come to church, I'll give you your wages. It's also illegal. Like, you need to pay people when they do work, you know, like, turns out. I also chased old ladies round Anna's Land one time with red balloons with cards on them that said Jesus loves you. Again, not a good look. People thought I was trying to mug them. You know, I've had some absolute horror shows. The other one that I got into a chat with a friend once and didn't realise that they'd actually grown up in a Christian family. I knew the Bible inside out, and I knew nothing. I just had confidence and boldness, and I was just like, oh, like, what about this? And then he was just hitting me with passages like that totally unsettled me. So I actually walked away from it not knowing if I was a Christian anymore, like, let alone trying to bring this guy to Jesus. Do you know? I don't know if you've ever had anything like that, but yeah, I think we've all trashed it sometimes. Do you know?
Tell us about some cool stories. You know?
Yeah, so like there's just some amazing stuff that's happened as well. So I've got people in my life that I've helped to get them to know Jesus in a really personal way, and that's an honour to say. I've really stumbled the words out because it gets me quite emotional. Actually, I know that this person's going to be going to heaven because we spent some time discussing the biggest questions of life. You know, and it's things that we've wrestled with, or, you know, I've taken people on Alpha courses. Like just this weekend, for example, we launched, we put the Alpha, the first episode of Alpha, and Alpha's just a video series where people can ask the biggest questions in life. We normally do it over food together, but we're doing it online at the moment, and we put the first episode online and just said, hey, if you want to look at this, and 3 of my old bouncer mates got in touch, and we're starting an Alpha this week. Now these are 3 of, like, 2 of them are actual people that I thought would end up in jail, like, you know, because they were crazy, like, and actually these are guys that are just saying, hey, I'm really hungry to try and understand what's going on in my life right now. Like, that's such a privilege and a blessing to just be in that space with them. There's also a young guy, he's a friend of mine, he's my barber. Now, I know that people don't believe that I actually get my hair done, but I genuinely do. It doesn't look that way right now because I'm homeless type, but he was one of the guys I first started doing youth work with 12 years ago. Now, he's not a Christian yet. He will be a Christian at some point in his life, but he's not a Christian yet. But he's now a father and a dad, and his life, his sole ambition in life was to get a girl pregnant and stay out of jail. That was his entire aim in life. He's now a barber, got his own business, helps support other people, takes other young guys from the scheme that have got no hope and trains them up to cut hair and then gives them jobs. Isn't that just amazing?
That's amazing.
Like, he's not a Christian, he's done Alpha, he knows that I love Jesus, we spend time, we talk about the biggest things in life. But actually, his life has been miraculously turned around just by me being a part of his life. And just saying to him, there's more than this, there's more than what you have dreamed, you know. So yeah, who doesn't get encouraged by doing stuff like that and just getting to hang out with cool people? And there's just so many good stories of people doing stuff. Like, there's two young guys I know up in Aberdeen. They've been running Alpha for their mates, and basically what they were doing, it was before the lockdown, it was a couple of years ago, but they were playing FIFA and Domino's 2 for Tuesday, get a couple of pizzas round, had their mates round, and just did Alpha together. And like a load of their mates became Christians, and they all go to church together now, and they're like running Alpha for their mates, and like it's just such a privilege to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can imagine some people are watching this, and young people, teenagers, and they're thinking, well, I can't do that. You know, I'm not Des. Like, you know, I don't have that confidence. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like,
yeah,
I've never even told anybody I'm Christian. I've never even spoken to my friends about Jesus. Like, the whole thing, just I'm really put off by it and quite scared about it. Like, what would you say to someone in that situation that doesn't really even know where to start?
Yeah, I would say, I know that you won't believe it, but I feel exactly the same way. Like, I don't know where to start half the time. Like, where I always start all this stuff with is prayer. Like, I just say, hey God, like, who do you want me to talk to right now? And then I wait, and sometimes conversations just come up. Like, I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you'll just be chatting to somebody about something and God will come up, or they'll mention like Noah's Ark, or they'll say something, they'll be like, oh, like, you go to church, don't you? And you've got that moment where you can go, no. Or you can be like, well, yeah. And then you get into that awkward place where they ask you something you don't know the answer to. And then as Christians, like, I think sometimes as Christians we feel we need to flap and give an answer. Like, I never do that. The one thing I always do is just go, that's a great question. Like, I literally don't know the answer. Like, can I think about that, or go check it out and come back to you? And that's one way that I find really, really helpful to have conversations with people, is just let them naturally bubble to the surface, and then when they do hit, just actually just being there with the person. Because the reality is, a wiser man than I can't remember who right now, said that you're not trying to win an argument to bring people to Jesus, you're trying to show Jesus love. And if you win the argument, you lose the person. So I'd say if somebody's really pressing into you, the best thing you can do is go, yeah, can we chat about this some other time? Because that'll stick in the person's mind much more. The other thing I do is, so take the Alpha first episode, like, I sent that to a couple of mates of mine, and I just said, hey, like, this is what I do for a living, like, this is what we watch at church, this is like what we engage with, like, could you watch it, just tell me what you think, like, just give me an honest opinion. And actually that allows them to say what they think, because it's not about a battle with you, or even a battle with God, it's actually saying this video is good or not. And then you can chat with them about it after. And, you know, like, I always describe Alpha as kind of like a Christian box set. You know, so like, you need to do all the episodes and like have a chat about it. Just like, you know, we were chatting about TV shows, right? Like, one of my all-time favourite TV shows that came out a couple of years ago was Dracula on Sky. It was just a modern interpretation, really, really good. They left it at a cliffhanger at the end of season 1, right? And then they've said they're never going to make any more. Like, I'm never going to know the end of the story. Like, I need to finish it. And I think that's the thing with Alpha, like, it's a space where people can ask the biggest questions of life, but actually it's good to finish it. It's good to do it together, do you know?
Yeah, say like some young person's watching, and they're like, well, oh, that actually sounds, you know, I'm up for this, you know, I could do that. Like, actually, you know what? I want to try doing an Alpha with my friends, either online or actually when the lockdown ends. You know, that's one of the first things I want to do when we get back to school, is just really want to start these conversations. Like, how do you get connected to the Alpha stuff? Like, what do you do to get the videos? Like, there's a youth, talk about the youth version as well. You know, there's a youth version too, right?
Yeah, the youth version's actually, I prefer the youth version. Like, let's not tell the grown-ups. But the youth version's really cool because it's actually each episode split into 3 sections. So you play like 5 minutes, hit pause, and then have a chat, and then play another 5 minutes, hit pause, have a chat. Like, it's great. It's really, really good, just for like sharing with your mates and stuff. But it's all free, so just alpha.org. Everything's free of charge. We give it all away. Like, we just want to help people wherever they're at. You can even find like a video for my story on there. Like, there's other like things that you could share with your mates to just chat through. Get in touch with us at Alpha Scotland on Facebook or Instagram, or my Instagram handle's Fat Guy Trying to Get to Heaven. Please follow me. It's important. But actually, yeah, send us a message. Like, we'd love to help you out. We've done some training stuff, so we can send you anything you need. And even if you've just got any questions, like, always happy to like hear your thoughts or innovations, like new ideas. Like, we had some young people, obviously pre-COVID, but they were running Alpha at Laser Quest. So they were going in, killing each other with Laser Quest, having some hot dogs, watching it on an iPad, and like the most amount of headphone splitters I've ever seen. And then going back in, playing some more Laser Quest and having a chat. You know, we've had people doing it online on Zoom. We've had one of our friends has been doing their nails with their other friends who are all into nails, and they're running Alpha but painting their nails at the same time. You've got to think about where are the people that you want to connect in with, and like this is my thing, right? Who are the people that I want to be my neighbours in heaven? Because like, there are some people in church, right? And let's all be honest, there's people in church that just do your nothing. They're just, you know, just because we're one big family doesn't all mean that we get on and that we really like each other. Like, I don't really like football, okay? Just going to be putting it out there. I'm a rugby guy, don't like football, not interested. I don't want my neighbours to be football fans when I'm in heaven. Do you know? Like, it would be nice if it was people that I really cared about. So actually, if I want to see people in heaven, who are the people I want there? They're my mates, they're the people that I care about. Like, not some random from up the road. Like, I don't really know them, but I do know my mum and my dad and my brother. Like, I want them to be in heaven. Like, I want my best mates that don't know Jesus to be in heaven. These are the people I want to connect in with, and it's about saying, well, what actually do they want? Not what do I want, not what do I think, but what do they want? You know? And I think we can meet people where they're at, and that makes much more sense than trying to bring people to where we're at. Because actually, if you'd have ever invited me to church, I would have always said no. But if you invite me for some donuts and some coffee and some cake and watch a DVD, I'm down with that. Like, I can survive that. You know, it's a totally different invite, isn't it?
Last question: What would you say to someone that's watching just now? And you know, they don't have a relationship with Jesus. You know, they've never really thought about that. But listening to this when they're watching it, they're actually like, well, I'm interested. Like, why would I want a relationship with Jesus, and how do I get one? You know, what would you say to someone that's kind of exploring that just now?
Yeah, I would say continue exploring. I would say try and work out the answers that you're looking for. Don't listen to other people's questions. What are your questions? Like, what is it you want to know about God or your life? Like, I can tell you from my personal opinion, I used to wake up every day not knowing where I was going or what I was doing next. But now I wake up every day full of life, full of joy. I've got a family, I've got a house, I've got the most amazing things that I never ever thought I would end up with. Like, my kind of highlight would have been waking up the next day, and now I wake up renewed, refreshed, reborn every day with excitement. And my little dream of what my life could be like was minuscule compared to what my life is actually like and continues to be like through knowing God. And I would just encourage you to ask the biggest questions and try and get the answers that you're looking for. But actually just know that God has an intentional plan for your life. And in that plan, there is the most amazing journey. Or I have a hope in my life now that I never had before. And if you want some of that hope, all you need to do is ask. You just need to say, Jesus, come into my life. And he will. And he'll meet you in that space. And your life will be totally transformed.
So good. Thanks so much, Des. Would you just pray for anyone watching just now, anyone connecting into this, just pray for them? And
yeah, sure. Yeah, Lord, I thank you so much that there are people listening. that there are people connecting in around the world. And Lord, we might not know why they're suffering, we might not know why everything's in this crazy upside down place, but we know and trust that you've got our back, that you're the ultimate bouncer, you're our ultimate support and framework. And Lord, I just ask that if there are people listening out there right now who don't know you, that you help them to know who you are. And for us that are struggling to just find ways of sharing you and just pointing towards you, that you can help us to have those opportunities. But Lord, more than anything else, I just pray for protection for all of us during this time, and that your love just radiates from our houses across this country and across all our Zoom and digital and social media and all the rest of it. But more than anything, that people know that it's all about you. Amen.
I hope that you enjoyed that and were really impacted by that. I love Des' story. I just think it's amazing how Jesus can change people's lives, no matter what situation or circumstance that they are in. And Des was in a pretty horrendous situation and circumstance, and Jesus met him. And look where his life has been taken to now, and how Jesus has transformed that. If you are watching and you prayed that prayer, or that Des talked about in the interview, or that even you want to pray that prayer right now, Jesus, come into my life. Maybe you've never prayed that. If you can tonight, you can pray that right now, wherever you are and wherever you're watching this from. You can pray that, and God will hear you. If you did pray that for the first time tonight, we would love to hear from you. Or when you're watching this back, whether this is weeks after the live stream actually going out, it doesn't matter. That was a moment where God met with you as you offered that prayer up to Him. Please do get in touch. We would love to help you in that decision. We'd love to let you know, encourage you in what the next steps are. You can let us know by sending us an email, again to youth@destinyedinburgh.com. Or you can get in touch with us through a direct message on our Instagram profile. Or if you're already connected to one of our small groups, why not tell your small group leader, I made that decision, I prayed that prayer for the first time. And you know what? If you're not yet a follower of Jesus and you're watching this and you've got questions and you want to explore more and you want to go on that journey and that adventure that Des talked about, we're completely here for that. We would love to do that with you. Please reach out to us and we'll do everything we can to help you answer your questions and to start a conversation. Let's have a conversation and let's go on a journey together. We'd love to do that with you. We're going to respond now in worship. And worship is it's not just singing praise to God with our mouths, it's our whole lives, a sacrifice of our whole lives before God, every part of our life. But one part of it that we do when we're together is that we open our mouths and we praise God, we declare who He is in song. I'm really excited about this actually. One of our own young people is going to lead us in worship. So I'm not going to say any more than that, but I love the rawness and the authenticity of this. So please, wherever you are, it's up to you what you do. You might want to stand, you might want to kneel, you might want to sit, you might want to open up your hands just to say, God, I'm here to receive from you now. Or you might want to raise your hands just to say, God, I want this moment to be about worshiping you. I want this moment to be about me coming and saying, you're great, you're awesome, you're incredible. And let's, as we worship God, He's going to come in and stir our hearts and meet with us wherever we are and wherever we're watching this from. So let's worship.
And for me, it helps me a lot. It's like it gives me a lot of peace. And the song is about peace. And right now, a lot of us may be really worried about whatever it is that's going on in our lives, whether it's corona or something personal. But this song is just quite good because it throws your attention that through God you can find peace and you can get things back to where you want them to be. Peace, bring it all to peace. Storms surrounding me, let it break. At your name, still, holy seed still, the rage in me still, every way. At your name, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You silence fear. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, 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 you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus.
Jesus, we just thank you that you are a light in the darkness. We thank you that as we cry out to you, you can still the waves and storms in our soul, whether that's anxiety because of the current situation or because of something else. We just say that we believe that your name is a light and the shadows cannot hide, and that your name is above all things. And we just worship you and praise you tonight. Thank you, Jesus, for the chance and the opportunity to be together. Thank you for what you shared through Des. And we just pray that you would bless him and bless each person that's been connecting in to the Friday night live stream this evening, or whether they're watching it back wherever they're at just now. We pray that they would experience your peace, your power, your love, your strength wherever they are. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. So good to have you joining for another episode of Friday Night Youth Live. What I want you to do just for where you are, just for a few seconds, is Des shared some really challenging and really helpful things. And I wonder if, as he was sharing, I wonder if someone came to your mind, if you already follow Jesus, I wonder if someone came to your mind actually and you think, um, I would just love to see them come to know Jesus. I want them to be my neighbour in heaven. I want them to be there with me. And I just want to find some way of connecting with them and sharing that with them, sharing the love of Jesus in some way this week. Why don't you just take a few seconds, just close your eyes and just think of that person. Ask God to show you who that person is. And then I'm just going to pray that actually God would open up a door for us to connect with that person that comes to mind. So just take a few seconds just now. Father, whoever that person is for each of us, I want to pray in Jesus' name that you would open up a door and an opportunity for us to show them your love this week. And you would open up opportunities for us to share about you and how you've transformed our lives. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. That's it for another episode of Friday Night Youth Live. Please do connect in with us this week. Keep an eye on Instagram if you're following us. If you're not following us, follow us, please. That would be great for new challenges and new opportunities to connect. We're also looking at doing other bits and pieces throughout the week as well. We had a bit of a video games get together today for a few of us, and so keep an eye out. It's been great to have you with us. Please do remember church online on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. or 6 p.m. Come and connect in with your family or connect in on your own. Come and be part of those services. It would be great to have you with us. And also, if you haven't connected in a small group yet, and you're able to, and you're normally part of Destiny Youth or you're part of the Edinburgh area, please do get in touch with us, and we'll connect you in with a small group. It's great for opportunity to be together and to hang out and have fun. So have a really good weekend. That's us. Do not forget, set it at the start, 7:30 p.m. next week. We got Q&A with Pastor Pete. It is going to be awesome. Get your questions in. Why don't you think of a question right now, email it right now, or DM it to us right now before you forget. Send us lots of questions. We want to make sure that we get through as many questions as possible with Pastor Pete next week. It's going to be a great time together. Can't wait to see you there. Have a really good weekend. The stream's going to be open for a little bit longer if you want to say your goodbyes for the next kind of 5 minutes or so, and then we'll close the stream after that. Have a really good weekend. See you guys later. Bye.